Disney's live-action Tangled finds its new Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. Teagan Croft and Milo Manheim step into iconic roles as Disney expands its live-action fairy tale era. Disney has officially revealed the stars who will bring one of its most beloved modern animated fairy tales into the live-action era. The studio announced that Teagan Croft has been cast as Rapunzel, while Milo Manheim will portray the charming outlaw Flynn Rider in the upcoming live-action adaptation of Tangled. The casting marks a major milestone for the project, which has been quietly building momentum as Disney continues its strategy of reimagining animated classics for contemporary audiences. First released in 2010, Tangled became an instant fan favorite thanks to its blend of humor, heart, and musical storytelling. Now, more than 15 years later, the story of the long-haired princess trapped in a tower is preparing to unfold again, this time with real actors, expansive visuals, and a new generation of fans. At just 21 years old, Teagan Croft wins both international appeal and genre credibility to the role of Rapunzel. The Australian actress rose to prominence through her performance as Raven in HBO Max's Titans, where she earned praise for balancing emotional vulnerability with strength and resolve. Those qualities align closely with Rapunzel's arc, a young woman who evolves from sheltered innocence into confident independence. Croft's casting signals Disney's intent to anchor the film with an actress capable of handling both the emotional core of the story and the physical demands of a live-action fantasy production. Rapunzel is not merely a passive princess. She is curious, resilient, creative, and ultimately courageous. Croft's previous work suggests she can bring nuance and modern depth to the character without losing the fairy tale magic that made the original so enduring. Opposite her, Milo Manheim, 24, steps into the boots of Flynn Rider, the charismatic thief whose life becomes entangled with Rapunzel's quest for freedom. Manheim is best known to Disney audiences for his role as Zed in the Zombies franchise on Disney Channel, where he demonstrated a natural ease with musical performances, comedic timing, and heartfelt moments. As the son of acclaimed actress Cameron Manheim, Milo Manheim has grown up around the entertainment industry, but he has steadily carved out his own identity as a performer. His experience working within Disney's ecosystem makes him a familiar and trusted choice for a high-profile production like Tangled. When Tangled debuted in 2010, it marked a turning point for Disney animation. The film blended traditional fairy tale elements with contemporary humor, cinematic action, and Broadway-inspired musical numbers. Featuring the voices of Mandy as Rapunzel and Zachary as Flynn Rider, the animated film was praised for revitalizing the princess genre while appealing to audiences of all ages. The live-action adaptation faces the challenge of honoring that legacy while justifying its existence in an increasingly crowded remake landscape. Disney has released multiple live-action adaptations over the past decade, with varying degrees of critical and commercial success. Some films like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast became box office juggernauts, while others sparked debate over creative choices and casting decisions. In the case of Tangled, the story's emotional intimacy, limited setting, and character-driven humor may actually work in its favor. Unlike sprawling epics, Tangled thrives on personal relationships, particularly the evolving bond between Rapunzel and Flynn, and the manipulative control exerted by Mother Gothel. The live-action Tangled is reported set to be directed by Michael Gracey, the filmmaker behind The Greatest Showman. Gracey's background in music-driven storytelling positions him as a logical choice for a film that relies heavily on memorable songs and emotional crescendos. While Disney has not yet confirmed whether the original musical numbers will be fully retained, reimagined, or replaced with new compositions, Gracey's involvement suggests that music will remain central to the film's identity. His experience staging large-scale musical sequences could bring new visual energy to iconic moments such as Rapunzel's lantern scene, one of the most visually celebrated sequences in modern Disney animation. One of the most discussed elements surrounding the live-action Tangled is the reported involvement of Scarlett Johansson as Mother Gothel, the film's primary antagonist. While Disney has not officially confirmed the casting, multiple reports have suggested that Johansson has been in talks to portray the manipulative woman who imprisons Rapunzel for her magical hair. In the animated version, Mother Gothel was voiced by Donna Murphy, whose performance balanced theatrical flair with unsettling emotional control. Translating that character into live action presents a unique opportunity and challenge. Mother Gothel is not a traditional villain driven by conquest or revenge. Her power lies in psychological manipulation, vanity, and fear of aging. If Johansson does take on the role, it would add significant star power to the film while offering her the chance to explore a darker, more intimate form of antagonism. The casting would also align with Disney's recent trend of recruiting A-list talent for villain roles in live-action adaptations. Tangled joins a long list of Disney animated films receiving live-action treatment. In recent years, the studio has released or announced adaptations of Snow White, The Little Mermaid, Lilo and Stitch, and others. Some of these projects have generated enormous box office returns, while others fueled online debate about creative direction and audience fatigue. Notably, Lilo and Stitch, Disney's most recent live-action remake prior to Tangled, reported surpassed $1 billion globally, reinforcing the financial appeal of reimagining beloved animated properties. That success likely strengthened Disney's confidence in moving forward with additional adaptations. However, Tangled occupies a unique position within Disney's catalog. Unlike older classics, it is relatively recent, meaning many fans have strong emotional attachments to the original film, its animation style, and its voice performances. As a result, expectations for the live-action version are particularly high.
Early reactions to the casting of Croft in Manheim have ranged from enthusiastic support to cautious curiosity. Fans of Titans have praised Croft's ability to portray complex emotions, while supporters of Manheim point to his charisma and musical experience as assets for Flynn Rider. At the same time, some longtime fans have expressed concern about whether the chemistry between the leads will match the dynamic established by Moore and Levi. Disney appears to be betting that fresh interpretations, rather than direct imitation, will resonate with audiences. The success of the film will likely depend on how effectively it balances nostalgia with innovation, retaining the heart of the original while allowing its new cast to make the story their own. While Disney has not announced a release date, industry observers expect the film to enter full production later this year. Casting announcements often signal that script development and pre-production are nearing completion.
Additional casting announcements, particularly for supporting roles, such as the Snuggly Duckling Ensemble and the Royal Family, are expected in the coming months. Music details, visual style, and whether the film will receive a theatrical or streaming first release remain open questions. A familiar story, told again. At its core, Tangled is a story about freedom, identity, and the courage to step beyond fear. Those themes remain timeless, which may explain why Disney believes the story is ripe for reinterpretation. With Teagan Croft and Milo Manheim now officially attached, the live-action Tangled has taken its first major step out of the tower and into the spotlight. Whether the film becomes another runaway Disney hit or a more modest chapter in the studio's remake era, one thing is certain: Rapunzel's story is about to be told again, this time with flesh and blood performers, modern cinematic tools, and an audience eager to see how magic translates into reality.